All right, folks. Well, this is an experiment of the last couple of months. I'd actually given up making banjos. Told my wife that I'd made my last one, and then walking through Goodwill one evening, found this gourd, and I just couldn't pass up this gourd. So I picked up the gourd, and I thought I got to do something different this time. And it occurred to me I should try to make a gourd bass. And so that's what this is. This is the first and probably the last 5-string gourd bass that resulted from the find of this really nice big gourd at Goodwill one day. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting experiment for me. I had no idea if the gourd was going to be resonant enough to actually, sound like anything. And I had a piece of oak. I had an oak railing that I had picked up that somebody tossed away. It was a nice long, like 4-foot section of oak railing made up of 3 boards glued together, which was just perfect for this particular neck, which I put a nice little piece of cedar on top of the neck that had a nice pattern to it. Got some bass tuners because I knew there was going to be a lot of stress on the tuners and the neck because of the bass strings. These are actually they're not really full-size bass strings, but a set of strings that I picked up online, and carved my own 5th peg there out of a maple again. And because the neck again wasn't wide enough for all 5 strings in that sort of bass configuration with a bit more space, so I just made this little extension nut, which I've done on a number of my banjos actually, where that actually the idea of putting a 5th string on it came when I originally made it just 4-string, and I put actual bass strings on it, but it was just way too much tension and stress and not enough resonance. Actually, there was some resonance, but the bridge was just taking so much stress into the skin head here. So I just realized I couldn't put actual bass strings on it. So I've got these other strings, and then I was thinking, well, maybe at some point it would function as a banjo as well. So I put that 5th string on there, which I don't know how you play a banjo bass, but and I'm not much of a bass player, but anyway, had to make a pretty sizable little tailpiece. This neck, I made it in such a way that it's actually one continuous piece of that railing. It goes off right on through the gourd, and just that little post that I cut to go through the gourd, just this little tailpiece just slips on there. And made a little bridge out of maple, and just did a tack head with. I bought a skin that was actually a heavier skin, just knowing there'd be a lot more tension on it, and made this kind of crazy V-shaped. Actually, this whole sort of configuration. I took some ideas from some of the earliest. You'll see that if you studied the history of the banjo. One of the earliest extant versions of a gourd banjo that was found in Europe and unboxed in the collection of a museum. I'm trying to remember the name of that particular banjo, but it escapes me at the moment. But some of these features I kind of took from that. I think it had a square notch, that particular banjo, and I thought I would make a V notch just to get a nicer fit. And then I put these holes that kind of match some of the early gourd banjos that particular banjo that's in a museum in Europe has a lot of these little sound hole shapes cut into it, a triangle and a little cross. and yeah, this little weird sort of T-shaped cross and a diamond shape. But that is my gourd base. And again, I used, this time I just drilled holes and ran like a 3/16 inch dowel pieces into the neck for those fret markers. And I was hoping that the dowels, I pre-finished the little dowel tips, which were blonde wood, and then thought when I stained the neck that they would really stand out, but they that you couldn't see them at all. So I just took a drill and just kind of did a light little drilled a little hole over the top of those holes so that it would just expose the lighter colored wood and the frets would be a little bit more evident. So anyway, that's it. Kind of a funky thing. Gonna have to work on my bass skills, but that's fretless gourd bass #1. Thanks for watching.